Right, I'm just copying the URLs onto the right pages. That's what's going on right now. Hold on. Go to my page.
Your whole room's just covered in holy water vessels.
Demons. Look at it. I take the show video URL. I take it, copy it to paste,
and then is that gonna feed it live then?
Yep.
From your page? It's pretty cool.
Of course, naturally, my computer has slowed down to 0 speed doing this.
It's doing a lot of things. It's recording Facebook Live. It's recording a backup audio. It's doing pretty well.
It's almost there.
Has to fight demons as well.
Right, that's the first 1 minute and 30 seconds is me pressing buttons on my computer, which is just ridiculous. Demons! God hates me! Why?
Let's not answer that.
What? Nate is welcome to Made in Moray Live. Nate is joining us today, and he's been really cool because I am pulling my hair out here trying to get things to work.
What's left of it?
Yeah, what?
You just neatly patterned it into a Mohican, right?
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Do you like that? I thought I'd go hard.
Reminds me of one of my 80s.
You gotta
okay.
kiss. Oh,
Yeah.
that's you gotta kiss the mic, right?
Kiss it.
You got,
Yep. So
you just looked at me like when you said that.
back to your Mohican. It reminds me of B.A. Baracus, Mr. T.
Yeah.
From the 18.
Fond
memories of those days.
He had something like going down the side and round the front, and
he probably had like big sideburns and a goatee or a beard, and then a hell of a lot of jewelry.
Yeah, that's just like work. It's like hard work getting all that stuff in there. You know, I just did like I would do it myself, but you know, it's quicker if somebody else does it. So Yanka was like shaving the head because you can't see around the back of your head, right? I mean, so how do you know if you got it right? Okay, I mean, there might be some weird little patch at the side or something, which would be cool for some people, I suppose. But Yanka was doing it. I'm just like, leave a bit down the middle. Yeah, and there we go. That's that.
Yeah, suits you.
Yeah,
I just do the whole lot. I do the face.
Well,
I do the head, just all in one that day, and then maybe a week later I'll do it again.
Yeah, it's practical. It's kind of practical to keep it like that. I had dreadlocks, right?
Mm-mm.
You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Secrets of history. Go back through my Facebook page, and you'll see horrific pictures of me looking like a tree monkey or something. I had dreadlocks down to like almost my knees.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't extensions; they were real.
No, that's real. Keep it real. Everything is real. Everything is real. So I had the big thick dreadlocks right down almost to my knees, and it got ridiculous because like I was tripping over them everywhere, and they were getting like I'd get in the car and they'd get caught in the door. Or the electric windows, you'd be like putting up the electric window, and your dreads would be like going up as well. So the problems of dreads.
You had dreads. I never. I had long hair. I had it down to about yay, but nah. The twice I had it long, I regret cutting it before getting dreads.
The dread was just something that happened because my hair was kind of curly and it just kind of got all knotted together, and you know, just to go out gigging and clubbing and stuff, and you'd you know, you didn't want to be like a girl and be like, just straighten in my hair, you just leave it all tangled, and eventually just ended up all dreadlocked, and I looked like I looked like a cross between a drug dealer and someone who played in a folk rock band.
You mean a reggae band more?
Or maybe maybe a reggae band. People used to try to buy drugs from me all the time, which is like I'd be in a business meeting and people would come up to me afterwards and like, if you got any, I'd be like, I don't do that stuff. It's just the hair. It's ridiculous. Or, you know, people would offer me a place to sleep or something.
Yeah, there's a tendency when I dance at a club, people start coming up to me and asking me if I've got anything.
I'll have some of what you're taking, please. I'll have 2 of those. Yeah,
I could be driving home stone cold sober and people are asking me, sort me out.
Yeah. Well, you've just got that kind of friendly face, haven't you? Yeah, people.
You've not seen me dance yet, have you? It's all about the dancing.
It's all about the bass, mate. I haven't seen you dance. I've seen you dive in the sea, but I haven't seen you dance. We'll get around to creative, constructive, local stuff at some point. Did you planned to go in the sea this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know secretly your plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
there's no secret.
Yeah,
share.
Don't secrets always catch up with people. Eventually. Anyway, there's no point having any secrets. You might as well tell everybody everything and then not worry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you can just move on. And that's half of the world's problem solved like that. You know what the secret is not to have secrets, because then no shit's ever going to catch up with you. It's all out there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Here's me partying at university when I was blah 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 blah. It's just so happy that I didn't have the internet when I was at university.
Or mobile phones, right?
Oh, the pranks. Can you imagine the constant pranking that goes on at universities? And everyone's got a phone, so everyone is shit scared that someone's going to get their phone out and film something whenever they do anything ridiculous at the student union bar on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
But they're so common now that the likelihood is people are not even considering a time when mobile phones weren't part of their lives.
Yeah,
everything's going to be documented.
I like a certain level of accountability. At the same time, you want to be free, and like for some people, it's really hard for them to be themselves if they know that everyone's walking around with a camera in their pocket. But that doesn't matter anyway, because there's 100 cameras on every street. What is it? The average is that every person is filmed on average a minimum of 250 times a day if they leave their house.
Obviously not when they go hiking. So you're talking about going into a city center.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about the urban centers where every shop's got a camera, right? So you're walking past every shop, and that's I'm amazed that any crime can ever happen, right? How the hell can there be any crime anywhere when every street has got 100 cameras on it? I mean, there's got to be people who can see everything that's going on almost all the time. You can't. How does a house get broken into? Because there's a camera on every street. Yeah, so you'd be able to see the car coming down or somebody walking down the street, or you'd be able to see the people who were in that area at that point. How does any crime happen at all?
Isn't there's criminals or attempted robberies, people getting caught because the police have used the network, the phone network, found out that there was some devices in that, say, bank at 3 a.m. during the break-in, and then they track those phones and they can locate where those people are. Where,
Well, yeah,
where the
it's
specific
a
are.
bit dumb for a criminal to take their phone to the crime with them, right? But then the good criminals never get caught anyway, right? It's only the prisons are full of the dumb ones, right? The good ones are out there getting the dumb ones to do all the stuff for them, I imagine.
Mm.
Me not knowing anything about crime and having no past experience of that at all in my entire life, ever. Right. Those no affiliation with those Eastern European gangs at all. No, no, no. Oh dear, no secrets. Absolutely no
Spill it.
secret. I'll tell you a story, right? Why I never spoke to a police officer before I left this country. I never spoke to one ever. I never even acknowledged the existence of the organization because I was a good boy and they seemed to keep their distance and it was fine. And then I left this country. Oh my God. In other parts of the world, frightening. I got dragged out of a bar in Slovakia one night by the police who'd gone in and said, okay, identification. And of course, a passport. Oh, foreigner. They dragged me out, put me up against the wall, pointed a gun at me, and told them I didn't give them money. They'd take me to a private room in the police station and give me a talking to. That was pretty scary, I can tell you. I was there with my friend, and I'm like, what should I do? He's like, give them some money. People don't know how lucky they are here to have the certain levels of privacy and security. It doesn't exist in other parts of the world. I feel blessed to be here in Moray. I really do. I feel blessed to be here in Lossiemouth, to get up in the morning and to see the sun. Did you see the sun poking through the clouds? Oh no, wait, you were in bed. You were sleeping, right? What rawr? What time are we supposed to meet?
9.
9, yeah. And
I'm glad you brought this up. You need to get it out of your system.
I do. It's cathartic.
I was 30 minutes late for our
meeting. I was right on the edge of I'm gonna kill him the moment he comes in, but I can't because he's such a nice person that it would be wrong to do that. So I bit my tongue and fought through my own issues because obviously they're my issues because it's my problem because I'm the only one that's frustrated. Does that make sense? There we go. But respect for getting here and getting on with things. No respect for going back to bed, you bastard. What happened? Your alarm clock didn't. You woke up and just went back to sleep, right?
I didn't think I'd need an alarm clock.
Do you use an alarm clock? Are you one of those people that just wakes up like that when you're supposed to? Well, obviously not.
I can if I hear it. Sometimes I can sleep so deeply I don't even hear an alarm clock. But yeah, I set it for 6:30. Alarm clock's in the next room. Helps me get out of bed.
Because you're one of those hit the snooze button, go back to sleep kind of people.
Yeah.
No, my alarm clock has to be on the other side of the room because there's no way I'm going to get out of bed if I can reach it from my position. I reckon the snooze button is probably responsible for a huge number of problems on a daily basis worldwide because it's just so easy. And you're thinking, oh, just another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Do you know, in this flat, just get it all out today. Just get it all out. So in this flat, because you live in blocks of flats, you hear the other people, right? They probably hear this, right? So you can hear the alarm clocks in other people's flats in the morning. So you can hear what time they get up. And some people's alarms, like they go off for like half an hour before they turn it off. That just puzzles me. You hit the snooze button, go back to sleep. Did they leave it on for half an hour? Or maybe it takes half an hour for them to wake up.
It's possible. That is possible.
What is that about? Oh God. Right.
I think that's generally through not enough sleep. If I have like say 6 or 7 or 8 hours, by that point I'm ready to wake up, definitely after 7. So I would hear an alarm clock. But if it's just like 3 or 4 hours sleep, there's a good chance I might not hear that alarm.
Yeah, if you get good quality sleep, you can get up. If you haven't had enough, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Welcome to Made in Moray Live. I'm G. This is Nate, and you might have caught the interview with Nate, which was it the second or third Made in Moray interview? I can't remember. There's just so many, and you might be aware of his local artwork with Murray Jewell and Nate Portraits. I've got this thing about Nate Portraits, right? Where I was like wondering if you chose like Nate Portrait because it kind of rhymes, or whether it was just random.
No, it was totally because of the rhyme. It was because of the rhyme that I chose.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Yeah, because I always find myself going Nate Portrait. Like when I think about it, my head does that because I don't know, musical stuff.
Yeah. I could maybe make a little theme tune for it. But yeah, Nate Portraits. Nate Portraits. They rhyme.
Good. Yeah, you'll find it on Facebook. Yeah, check out his work. It's nice. It's really nice, and a lot of great artists in this area. And we might get into discussing ways that we can help artists in a little bit. You know what day it is today?
Tuesday.
Yeah. You know what the date is?
6th.
Oh,
dear. 5th.
Yes. Remember.
The 5th of November.
Do you remember the next line? Gunpowder, treason, and plot. Yeah. There seems no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Yeah, except for the fact that people have absolutely no idea why.
Yeah, it's gone.
The
song never helped.
It's bonfire night. There's fireworks. There's sparklers. It's just after Halloween. Yes, but why do we have it? I don't know. Some weird geezer with gunpowder long time ago. Yeah, something like that. It was far away. It was in England. It was down in England. It was a Scottish king.
Westminster, right?
Yeah, at the Houses of Parliament, right?
Do you know? Can you tell the story?
Some crazy dude, because they had the word dude back then, decided to blow up the entire Houses of Parliament. What kind of mad, insane idea is that? Right. And as if nobody would discover it, as rolling huge barrels of gunpowder into the place. Much madness. I know a bit of the background to it. We haven't discussed this, so we haven't even prepared for this topic at all. So I don't know how much you know about it, but I believe it was James VI of Scotland who became James I of England, and it was a 6 up here, but it was a 1 down there, and that's a confusing bit of history. Like the James I is James VI. I think that's right. Do you know? You're not sure about that? Okay, and it's a cats and dogs, right? It's a religious thing. Yeah, cats and dogs. So one group was really annoyed that the other group had taken over power, and the Scottish king inherited the English throne, and all the English were really annoyed, as they ought to be, really. Just weird geezer with a funny accent from the north. Suddenly he's king, and we got to get rid of this guy. And so that was it. We got to get rid of this guy and install our own religion, and take over and have ultimate power and control. And so that was it. Kill the king and replace him with another king.
So was there opposing religions? What was What was King James the First's?
I believe he was Protestant. I believe it was because it was a Catholic conspiracy to kill the Protestant king. But that's what you read in the history books. I mean, God knows. I mean, back then, who knows what the hell was going on? You'd say you were whatever to get whatever, right? You'd say you were whatever. Thank you very much, Rado, for joining in the conversation. It's great when friends from the past catch up with us. Rado's out there. You can put a question. You pop a question into the what is it, into Facebook Live? Yeah, you can pop a question. You can mash a thumbs up or a heart. If you're really daring, you can drop me a PM and I'll call you and you can join in the conversation live. How insane is that, right?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I can reach you through Facebook. I can reach you through Instagram. I can reach you through Skype. I will pipe you in like a bagpiper. I'll pipe you in. It's all Scottish. I've got a story. I got to get to the story about bagpipes. I got a story about bagpipes from last week. Yeah. Don't let me forget. Make a note. Bagpipe. I'll forget because I've got like a 2-second memory. Little fireworks going off in my brain.
Just to say now then.
Yeah. So no, I want to do the how people can actually join in with a live conversation. So the power, I can do the Facebook, Instagram, Skype, whatever, and I'll just pump you into the conversation. You can join us if you want. Except no one's got the plums to actually really join in. So we'll get back to Guy Fawkes, right? Because last week Halloween was last week. There's so much stuff. Did you did you dress up? Did you do anything? Did you have free time? Were you working? You didn't do anything.
I didn't make no effort.
You made no effort. A lot of people made no effort, and I respect and understand that. But it's also funny when people make an effort. Anyway, my daughter, the youngest daughter, who's 4, decided that she wanted. One of the great reasons for having kids is you never run out of content, right? Life never runs out of content with kids. My daughter, who's 4, decided that she wanted to go as the Incredible Hulk. She wanted to go out guising. Is that what they call it? Been out of this country for so long, can't remember stuff. Yeah. And she's got these really, really super giant, big punching Hulk gloves. Don't know quite how she ended up with those. And she wanted a mask. So I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because at first, you'd oh, we'll make it out of arts and crafts. And it's like, how the hell do you make a Hulk mask out of arts and green crepe paper, a couple of pieces of cardboard, scissors, tape? Probably not. Right. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace. So jump on Facebook Marketplace. I think I remember. I think I typed in masks. Scrolling down, Hulk mask in Elgin, right? I'm like, that'll do. So send them a message. Hop in the car, drive off to Elgin, because it's what parents do, right? They do everything for their kids. And somewhere off in some new housing estate on the other side of Elgin, and I was driving down the road, and I'm like, the cars, it was cold and wet, and the car's steaming up, and so I put the window down to see, to kind of see where I am. And I put the window down, and all I hear are bagpipes. And what kind of noise do bagpipes make? I'm not sure I can do an impersonation of the typical.
It's quite a drone
sound
sound
kind of thing going on, right? And I'm like, I'm hearing things. I'm like, I've been in this country too long. I'm just hearing bagpipes. This is ridiculous. And so I find the house, and it was really cool when I picked up the mask, because it was one of those houses with the was it no pets, no smoking. And you kind of know that whatever you're picking up, it's just like clean, and it's good when you've got kids, when you've got stuff, and you know that like it's either new or it hasn't come from some kind of dirty environment. And so like I get to the door, press the buzzer, person comes to the door, here's your mask. I'm like, give him some money, and I was like, I want to ask you a question. I was just coming down the road, and I swear I could hear bagpipes. It was like a housing estate, yeah. Like these quiet little Scottish housing estates, almost like nobody lives there. Everybody's busy, but everyone's quiet. And I'm like, I could swear I just heard bagpipes. I was like, is there some kind of special event happening or something? And the woman said, oh, it's just my son upstairs practicing. Can you imagine? You're living in a housing estate where some kid is practicing his. What if it was a semi-detached house? What if you're the neighbor and.
Tough.
Oh my God.
Depends how good he is, though, eh? If he's good, then maybe it's gonna be more manageable, right?
Look, playing like electric guitar is one thing, right? The bagpipes, because they do have a tendency to kind of be explained like, well, it's like strangling a cat under your arm, kind of apparently. So I wouldn't know what strangling a cat is like, because that would be cruel, and not involved in things like that anymore. And anyway, I guess that's not. It was funnier at the time. This is not that funny story, but but it's just this idea that you have if you want your children to be artistic and creative and maybe take up a musical instrument, but when they say, Mom, I really want to play the drums or the bagpipes, you sort of go, oh,
it's a tough one. It really is.
Oh,
Because not only, I think it's also to do with the volume that they require for you to do your thing, to practice.
You can't. Well, you do get electric bagpipes, and I imagine that we've got to the point of technology where you could probably stick some headphones in and practice away in your room. But I guess it's not the same as this. It's not the same. You want to be au naturel with with that bagpipe, just to get the right feeling and the right sound. Where do you practice?
A community hall, village hall, in a soundproof room,
top of a mountain somewhere
with duvets in the bass. The kick for the drums.
On a boat somewhere.
With pads on. I mean, you're going to be limited to an extent. You need somewhere where people accept. You
couldn't do it in another country, you know that, right? You couldn't go to England and practice your back. That would just you'd end up having to come home sooner than you wanted to, I imagine. There. Anyway, moving on. The Scottish king. That's moving backwards, isn't it? James VI became James I, and I didn't learn this in school. Didn't teach us any of this stuff in school. To go to Wikipedia and read about it, because when I left this country, everybody was like, "Oh, tell us about it." I was like, I have no idea. To go and read about it, and so yeah, that was it. We celebrate the fact the king was saved. Save the king, long live the king, and bad things happened to Guy Fawkes. But he wasn't the main conspirator. It was somebody else. I forget the main.
Was he just a skivvy?
Oh yeah, he was a hired hand. You know, he was paid mercenary, basically, well paid mercenary to do the bad deeds. But the bad things happen to bad people, right? Well, that's what they say anyway. Bad things happen to me all the time. What does that mean? That was Guy Fawkes night, and we took in a bit of Halloween there as well. And did you go to any fireworks? Did you do anything?
No.
No?
No.
No, nothing at all.
I was working.
Oh, you were working, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
of course. I forget you. I
Yeah.
forgot you work. Right. Because I was looking, because there was a big storm at the weekend
Mhm.
here. You might have noticed because you live here.
Mhm. Yeah, it
The-
was epic.
There was all of that foam and froth from the sea ended up coming over the wall and across the grass and just about onto the road.
What is that foam all
What,
about?
what is that? I was going to
Yeah,
ask
it
you.
is. No.
I mean, I've
On a windy day when there's a lot of it, it looks like it's alive.
well, I thought it was gonna. My kids saw it and they were like, "Party!" And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm not sure that it's that kind of foam." I don't know. Is that stuff naturally from the sea, or is it like some kind of waste coming down the river, mixing with the sea and creating? What is
I
that?
don't know. I mean, there is an outlet nearby. You know, it's just out.
Yeah. There's a waste outlet there.
Yeah,
right?
so it's probably like
Yeah.
200 thereabouts meters away from that location where all that foam. But you don't see anything else coming out, so I'm
No,
not sure. And it doesn't.
it was
doesn't
wild
have a
and
bad-
windy as well.
Yeah.
You do see it along the coast sometimes that the sea froths up and
Okay.
onto the beach a little bit. But
But
that
yeah,
was-
on this occasion, it was a lot. It was
I am storm things. It's bizarre, right? So just next to us, there's a window here, and there was a drain pipe going up there last week, which is not there this week because I looked out the window the other day during the storm, and it was going from side to side, and then 5 minutes later there was a crash, and there was no drain pipe. So it was a pretty wild storm there. I hope nobody got hurt. So there we go. Big storms. And the reason I mentioned the storm is that's why we didn't go to any fireworks, because it was a big storm, and I was like, I'm not going to stand in the rain for 3 hours, and I'm not going to stand in the rain for 3 hours and watch someone try to light a bonfire in the rain. Of course, silly me, they had it all organized, and
Yeah, it went ahead. It was probably raining, at least in the Elgin one. I think there was a little dry spell at the end, but up till 7, it was raining.
I've been spoiled for years and not having to live in the rainy climate here. I forget that 3-day storms are the average sometimes. So
I love it. I love these wild storms.
yay! I was at the Murray College at the weekend for something called Winterfest, which was smaller than something that you'd imagine called Winterfest. You imagine Winterfest is some kind of big thing with headlining bands or something. It was just local arts and crafts, nicely presented. Some really really cool little local organizations. Most of whom I talked to, and I asked them if they'd like to be interviewed on Made in Murray. And they were like, "Oh, fantastic, wonderful! That's a great idea. I love it." And so, you might be able to explain this to me because this doesn't make sense in my head. Yeah. So they're like, yeah. I'm so like, look, here's I had it all organized. I had like everything set up in my phone. So all I got to do is put in their email address, press a button, and they get an email with all the details of everything. Yeah. None of this, oh, I'll contact you in a few days and stuff. I'm like, bang, dude, it done. So I got their email, sent the thing to them. Said, you've got details and information there. So if you'd like to be interviewed, get back to me in 48 hours because I want to schedule something and do something. And the sooner you get back to me, the sooner things can move forward and we'll do some promo for your business. Everyone was like, yes, absolutely, sure, no problem at all. And I gave them the information there and then. Do you know how many of them got back to me? 0. All of them said that they would, and said that they liked the idea, and said that they wanted to be interviewed. And 0 of them got back to me. Now, a number of possible scenarios. You can't ever know the truth until you ask someone. So you'd have to go like, well, I don't know, maybe somebody's dog died and they were focused on that. But it's just bizarre. First of all, why would you say you would do something and then not do it? Especially if it's connected with your business and you want your business to grow and you maybe want to have more customers or more clients. Why would you not follow through with something? Or maybe they checked out the project and went, no, we don't like it now. Maybe they changed their mind. Maybe something came up. I don't know, but they all said, absolutely, we'll get back to you for sure. 100. None of them. What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Is that normal? Is that okay? Have I confused you?
I don't have.
You don't have an opinion about
anything
that?
significantly to reply about that. I mean, I'm sure you can answer those questions.
You'd have to.
But maybe it's a case of just leaving it a little bit of time.
Yeah. Then what do you do? Do you give them more time? Because naturally everybody needs sometimes more time. Or do you get back to them again and say, "Hey, it's me again." What do you do? How do you know which way to go? How do you know which way is the right way?
I'd say chase it up.
Chase it up. You have to, don't you? Because
think about it, like they might have been exhausted from that occasion, and then they had Sunday to rest. Okay, it's Tuesday now. They may be getting back into the swing of the business, the whatever there is that they're doing. So give them a bit of time. Get back in touch.
I tell you what annoys me. Time. It's a time thing. No, it's why doesn't somebody say really busy right now, but I've got a lot on. Like the idea. We'll get back to you at some point, or even say, if you don't hear from me, get back to me, because people tend to know how good they are at fulfilling their commitments, right? I think it'd be a good strategy to, like I do with my partner. I'm like, you might need to remind me about that because I might forget about it, even though I know it's my responsibility. Just because I know what I'm like.
So there you go. There you go.
Have I answered it?
Yes.
I'm not. What is the answer then? I have no idea what the answer is.
Patience.
Patience. The old virtue, right?
It's one of them, isn't it?
Is there a place in London where they say if you wait there long enough, you will meet everyone you've ever known or something? Isn't there some place in London? Don't know. Probably irrelevant. Anyway,
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that you don't sort of have to go anywhere because everybody ends up at some point in their life in the center of London for some reason, however bizarre that is. Right. Yeah, a couple of really nice local organizations. Jar of Hearts, sort of bespoke jewelry, making things from old musical instruments. Nice. People should check it out.
What kind of instruments?
They had like chains and bracelets from old cymbals. So
what the bracelet that would go around
the
hand?
Yeah, well, not a whole symbol, obviously, right? But they done. I don't know. They like cut up the symbol. I don't know what they do with it and bend it and shape it and make it into something nice. So they had that there. I thought the guy had a band as well. I forget the band's name. He said he had a band and they do local rock music. And I listened to some of their stuff and it was kind of angst guitar driven hard rock. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I cannot remember for the life of me.
You could maybe
The name of the
get
band.
the page or find it on the iPads.
Well, it's actually easy. Getting information is very, very easy in the modern age.
If you had an iPad, if you wanted to share a picture, you could be big enough to share on the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like I use all the different streams of social media. I'm trying to remember which one that I contacted him through and where, because he sent me a link to I don't know. It's under Jar of Hearts. If you find it on Facebook, I forget the band name. They got some new single out, and it was really cool. Actually, it was really good. I enjoyed listening to it. There we go. There's people doing good stuff, right? There's people doing good stuff. It's bugging me that I can't remember the name of the band. No. Can't do it. Anyway, it'll come back to me. What else was there? There was a girl called, I think her name was Iona Smith. I should have got all this stuff from the. I don't know where it is. I picked up the flyer from the Winterfest, and she was trying to raise money for a trip to Costa Rica, and she was like making her own jewelry and sweets and toffees and things to sell to people. And she was sitting in the corner, and she looked all kind of sad and lonely because she had to raise like I think £3,000, and she'd made like about £2.50 or something like that. And I was like, whoa, that's a big target. She's going to need help. So I sat down with her and I said, okay, I'll get you on the podcast. And she's like, yes. And I said, okay, reply to me this weekend, and I'll get you on. No, I'm too scary. Is that it? Am I too forward? Am I too scary?
No, I don't. Depends, I guess. I don't find you scary.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm reassured. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't know. Okay.
Let it roll. Let it.
Well, it'll all happen eventually. I'll get back. Maybe these people just don't believe these things happen. Maybe they're like, oh, it can't be true. Maybe that's it. I don't know. The Speyside Soap Company was there as well. They got these really cool, the nice little local natural products that they make. Get them in the Restore. They were really cool. Bought some soap from them, of course. And there was a farm there selling goat meat, which was a bit different from all the other exhibitors there. And they do these big farmers markets that nobody knows anything about. So I thought it'd be cool to go up there and do a podcast from one of the farmers markets, because farmers are interesting people. Always got things going on.
What's with goat meat?
Why goats?
Yeah, why isn't it more popular?
I
know that a friend from Nigeria, goat meat is very common.
Yep.
Here,
yep.
Never hear about goat meat.
Maybe it's just harder to keep goats than it is. Apparently, this woman was telling me there's only 2 organizations that really work with it in the north of Scotland. There's only 2, and so it's a really, really small market. Maybe goats are harder to keep than other animals. Maybe the rules and regulations are stricter for goats. Maybe there's an insanely wild goats protection league or something that stops people. I don't know. Have to speak to them. But they had goat recipe books as well. Put a photograph on Instagram of.
Have you tried goat? Do you eat? Are you vegetarian?
I'm not vegetarian. I'm pretty sure that. Although I was like vegetarian for 2 years, and then I went back to eating meat, and I was like, vegetarian is nice, meat's nice, it's all cool. Try what works, and be cool with it. And sometimes it's difficult depending upon which culture you're in, right? Some cultures are really meat eating, and if you go into them saying, I'm not going to eat meat, it's not really very wise probably to do that. Or you're not going to live in a vegan community and eat meat every day. It's kind of disrespectful that way. So I'm pretty sure I ate goat when I was out in Europe. but I wasn't really aware of it because, like, when you're in foreign countries and kind of everything is different, so not really aware of doing that. I did keep sheep. I did have a small farm. Keep sheep in the garden. That was interesting. You'd let them out, and they'd run off into the hills, and you'd whistle, and they'd come back.
You're a sheep keeper.
Yeah, it's shepherd is the word, I believe. Shepherd, sheep keeper, like a goalkeeper, right? Or a
You said
goalkeeper.
keep sheep.
Oh, I said sheep keeper, so I didn't even realize. Do you know that last month was Goattober? I'm not joking.
What's Goatober?
It's it's attempt to promote goat's meat. This is what the woman from the farm was telling me. In an attempt to promote goat's meat, they renamed October to Goattober, and had these special events that nobody knows anything about. But she was all enthusiastic and about doing something. So I might go up to the farm and visit them. It sounds like fun.
You should goat.
So they had the goat's meat cookbook with a picture of a goat's head on the front. It just looked like the devil, because you know how, like, the goat is the symbol of the devil, right? Yeah, and you know how God hates me, right? It's a sign.
Signs,
It's
yeah.
a sign. Yeah, follow the goat. People use that symbol on like Facebook and Instagram now. If something's cool, they just use the goat symbol. Yeah, it's like you're a goat, man, and it just means cool.
Okay.
And in the way that bad means
In the
good.
rebellious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the words that mean bad mean good. Yeah, that's good shit, man. Yeah. So there you go.
That's sick.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
All wicked.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Sorted. That's a blast from the past. Wow. Yes, and there were people selling alcohol at the Winterfest as well. I avoided those stalls because I had my kids with me, and people were sort of crowding around there, and it seemed to be really popular. The El Gin. We're back to devils again. Okay, so there's a local gin called El Gin, right? And it gets off into esoteric. Gin, yeah, your gin means genie originally. Yeah, you know, well, okay, gin means genie. The genie in the bottle, right? That's the gin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
J-I-N.
No, G-I-N. G-I-N, as in the drink. That's where it's the drink. See, strong alcohol is.
Gin in genie terms is usually spelled J-I-N.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's pronunciation. You'll find it spelled G-I-N as well, because it's about the sound of the word, not how it's written. Because you could write it 100 different ways, but so it's about the sound. And if you look back, like, gin is spelled with both the G, meaning is genie, and then you've got L at the front, and L is a very, very old word for God. Yeah, so Elgin. Anyway, that's something for people to ponder over, names and things.
Or you could just elaborate.
Well, it's just interesting that the gin is obviously strong alcohol. Strong alcohol is a spirit. Spirit is, obviously not of, physical elements, and also we talk about high spirited. It's got a religious connotation as well. Used to be a bar in a church.
High spirits.
High spirits. Yeah, good name for a bar in a church, and kind of sad in a sense that the church became a bar, different kind of worship. But yeah, the strong alcohol is called spirit because it changes the personality. It is a kind of a possession, sort of body being taken over. But get into that some other day in some other esoteric podcast, because I've done presentations like that. You can find it on the YouTube channel, the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching. I did a whole series on esoterica and language and different
Isn't it
things.
also to do with the alcohol evaporating
Oh, see, there's
into the ether?
there we go. There's a great point as well. Yeah.
You go to somewhere like Glenfiddich and Speyside, Dufton, and you'll see signs of the evaporation of alcohol. A lot of the trees, the bark is darker than
Yeah.
it would be. Yeah. In some cases, the tree bark is black. And this is called angel share. This is a sign.
Angels what? Sorry?
Angels share.
Angels share. Wow.
So the black bark is a sign of the angels share. And when moonshining and the legal stills was more common, the police were looking for signs of the angels share in the forests.
So they look for darker bark on the trees as a sign that people were illegally distilling
somewhere nearby. Yeah,
something.
It might be just around the corner. It might be buried.
Yeah.
In a little...
Wow. Well, that's interesting. Well, it's also interesting that we live in that region, right? We live in the region where there's a lot of these places producing strong alcohol. Famous for it, in fact.
Isn't this area like the capital of whiskey?
It
that's
is
the claim.
It is.
Speyside is pretty globally recognized as one of the hearts of the whiskey industry, the whiskey history.
It is, and it's a large part of the industry and infrastructure here as well. It provides a lot of jobs for people, and obviously it puts this area on the map because they export worldwide, and that I think that the thing to note about this region is there's so much more than whiskey here. There is whiskey here, but there's so much more. You got the beautiful beaches along the coast. You've got the rolling hills. You've got I believe that there's actually more percentage forest in Moray than in any other region in the UK. At least in Scotland.
This
maybe
is what,
the UK.
Like forestry commissioned forest.
Oh yeah. But there's straight lines of trees.
These are much wild. I mean, you go around, say maybe the River Fenton and the Spey, you will see some beautiful forests.
There are some
that are not forestry commissioned.
Isn't there between here and if you go out through Lossiemouth to like the first forest over there, is that natural or is that planted?
Along the coast, the Landide Road?
Yeah, that way. Or I'm thinking of like you walk through that out of Lossiemouth through the caravan park
cemetery side, that area. Yeah.
There's some nice areas of forest there. I've been out jogging through there, and it's quite beautiful. But people forget. If you take so I was out in Slovakia for a long period of time. 40+% of that country is forest. 40+. It's like the second highest percentage in Europe, I believe. And you come to Britain and it's like less than 1%. Yeah, crazy, huh? And that's why I used to be able to stand in the middle of a town out there. I stand in the center of town and I would see forest all around me. Yeah, and you compare that to here. So sort of a different kind of element of geography. But I imagine in the past it was like that here. Because obviously shipbuilding, houses, fuel, wars, whatever reason, right? Trees were cut down and not replaced for long periods of time. And it being the north of Scotland and us being an island, nobody cared. Until somebody somewhere started the forestry commission and they're like, oh, I guess we gotta
It could
have
also
some
be, you
trees.
know, agriculture, the
Mhm.
need or the desire for growing your own food,
Mhm.
having your own cattle.
Mm. Well, it's interesting because it was a fuel as well, and obviously this was a big shipbuilding area as well. So obviously a lot of the trees along the rivers were cut down and then floated down the river to the mouth where the ships were built. Um,
Did they build ships here in Lossie? Or Bucky?
they built. Do you know where they built them? Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Kingston was a massive shipbuilding yard, hence the term Kingstown.
Mm.
Yeah. In fact, the Solemn League and Covenant was signed there, which is one of the most important historical documents in Scotland. Was actually signed in Kingston and Garmouth, which was it was the king's promise to the people that he would follow certain rules. And the king came ashore there because it was the most important place. And now, if you go there now, there's like a kids' park, a couple of swings and stuff.
So would they have gone up the Spey and
Uh,
harboured somewhere? Because there's no signs of,
it's all gone.
there's no harbour, there's
It's all gone.
there's
Yeah,
nothing.
people need to get there's a book, Spey Built, which covers the history of shipbuilding along the Spey. Here's a crazy story. I was once in a restaurant in England, and there were pictures of ships on the wall, and there were names like the Murray Firth and blah 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 blah. And it turned out they were all built in Kingston.
Mm.
Crazy as that. So yeah, it's big because they had a natural. You had to build ships where you sort of had a natural harbor kind of area, and they sort of had a natural harbor area there. So it was good for that, but there's zero sign of it nowadays.
Mm.
But yeah, big shipbuilding area, and they needed the trees, and trees were floated down the river. Blah blah blah. Don't really know much more about it than that, but there's definitely quite a few local books that have collected data about it, and there's a great Facebook page, Murray, Murray Land of the Lost. Do you know that page?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the people go out and they find old things in the countryside and around about, like from places from World War II and before then, and signs of ancient coastal forts and stuff that people have no idea, because history is kind of lost, really.
There's a history for the East Beach Bridge.
In
So-
Lossiemouth, yeah.
Yeah, so the original location was like opposite. The bridge used to go from near the ice cream shops over the river to the sand.
Mm. So there was a
but it
different
was-
bridge in a different place.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you'll see it like it's kind of sticks out. There's a
Mhm.
few steps that lead down to the river.
Oh, is that?
That's where the bridge
That's
was.
where the bridge
Yeah,
was.
Yeah,
Because I've seen those steps, and I thought those steps just go down into the into the water.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, there was a bridge that went over there, but
Mm.
in a storm similar to the one just past,
Yeah.
the bridge was damaged or
Oh.
just completely annihilated,
Mhm.
which led them to then choose a different location for the
Mm.
for a solution.
Safer place. Yeah. Around the
And
side.
so they chose like near Seatown,
Mhm.
and they also chose to protect the boats. So part of that bridge that is still standing, it used to pivot. A part of the bridge used to pivot, which allowed boats to get through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? So like right now, like it's all straight, but it
Yeah.
used to like pivot like
Yeah,
like
you'll
90
see.
degrees.
You'll
and-
see like a certain vertical structure. The
Yeah,
legs
Yeah.
is a lot thicker than everywhere else on the bridge.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where it would pivot. It's like
Yeah.
it raises up, doesn't it? The bridge raises up
Yeah, that's true.
and then plateaus. So in
Yeah.
the center of that plateau, that's the
Mm.
section that would have pivoted 90 degrees to allow boats to get through.
There's lost history. There's so much.
Mm.
There's so much.
Sad.
I often see there's on the hill above Lossiemouth. There's this there's that nice street that you can sort of walk up, and you get the views of
Mm.
the bay and everything. And
Yeah. Prospect Terrace.
There's one house there that got burnt down. Looks like a haunted house, and my kids always go, "Oh, it's the haunted house. Look at it." Just thought it's kind of. I was wondering if there was a story connected to that, or no.
There's a bit of myth. There's a bit of gossip.
Ghost stories, maybe.
Having lived in Lossie for 25 years, I have never seen that house being lived in. It's always been dilapidated, very old, and almost left like it was during a meal. Like,
okay,
I've seen inside that building, and there's plates left out.
Oh my god!
And knives and forks on the kitchen table. Yeah, it's
like the Mary Celeste of Lossiemouth. You know the story about the ship?
No.
There's this
I know the name, but that's it.
Oh, it was a ship that was discovered, and all the crew had vanished, and everything was left like they were going to have a meal, and no one ever knows what happened. It's like when people discovered the ship. It might have been around the Bermuda Triangle, that area. It might have been somewhere else. I'm not sure, but similar kind of thing, as if everything was as if normal, as if everything was okay, and and the people who found the ship just there were no survivors. Nobody knows what happened. There was no sign of any fight or any struggle or anything.
Scary.
Yeah,
I can understand why it's seen as the Halloween or the scary
because
ghost house.
It's right up there on the hill.
So I think it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Someone set it alight, or some people.
Some kids got in, and
more likely. So that left it in the state that it's in, and so sort of the gist is supposedly the owner lives abroad, America or Canada. And maybe he's a reluctant owner of it, like given to him from a mother, grandmother, auntie, and uncle. I don't know the situation, but there is no interest to either sell it or to develop it. I mean, that's a prime location for a house.
But I guess people will sell it one day. I mean, they hold on to things, don't they? Or somebody dies off and they hand it down to their kids, and the kids.
The Moray Council, there was an article a few years ago that I think maybe after the fire, or a year or two after that fire, saying that they were going to try and push to take ownership and do with it as they please, because it's an eyesore.
Yep, you got all those beautiful houses.
Tragedy, that house is just not being used, and
prime location as well.
Amazing, that view is stunning.
Yeah, there's quite a few people have second homes here. It's quite interesting. I've noticed my observational skills on Facebook that a lot of people post furniture for sale, and if anybody's got any furniture, need some furniture, can't find anything I like. And I've noticed that people say like unused because we lived abroad for a couple of years. I've seen that a couple of times. There's houses here with like everything ready for the people, but there's nobody living here because they live abroad for some reason. Lucky people. Like, I guess they only come here in the summer because the winter is like, What's the winter like around here? Yeah, we'll do like 5 more minutes and call it a day. What am I going to expect? Living here in the winter, because it's got to be different from the summer, right?
Yeah.
Up here in the north.
Just a comparison, that I spoke to a Lithuanian couple the other weekend, and they'd been here for 2 years, and they were going back home.
Living here, yeah.
Living in Elgin, and they were going to go back home to Lithuania.
A
few reasons: they missed friends and family, and
the weather.
And the second mention was the weather, and I was like, "Why is it? What's different about this weather compared to yours? Because yours, you get hotter summers, colder winters." And the key element they mentioned was it's to do with the moisture.
Okay.
their winters,
Yeah.
it's a lot drier.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here,
Yeah.
you're saying like you feel the cold more. You know, like
So
it gets in your bones,
So
sort of cold. So I got to mention that because
Mm.
that is a fact.
It's damp.
It is, yeah, it is damp.
It's damp. And I noticed that being out in Europe as well. It's summers are hotter, winters are colder, and it actually that damp it chills you to the bone. That damp, because I've been out in -20, right, and not felt
Yeah, it could be in a
cold.
t-shirt, can you?
Well, not
I've
quite.
been in -10
Right.
in the Alps in
Look,
like,
if the sun is shining, then you can be out in a t-shirt. You know, if you're skiing at a ski slope or whatever, and you can ski down in a t-shirt. But yeah, my my
I've been in a t-shirt for like a few hours.
in
Like outside a
-10.
nightclub
Yeah,
sort of scenario, and maybe losing the key to the apartment. Also,
lost
but not
history, right?
not being too cold, being able to handle it.
Mhm.
But if you do that here, yeah, maybe then you'll start to get moisture and your t-shirt will get wet
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're not just cold, it's not dry. So
Mhm.
that like when you get, if it rains and it's cold, you're
Yeah.
gonna get colder quicker.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I've felt colder in like -1, -2 here than I did in -50, -20 in other places.
Mm.
Just because the -50, -20 is it's a crisp coldness. You're sort of prepared and ready for it coldness, but it's a different kind of everything is wet here. It's also the reason for a lot of people's illnesses and sicknesses in this part of the world. They get all these respiratory problems because everything is damp a lot of the time.
Mm.
And God, think we're so lucky and blessed to live in places with walls and windows and central heating and stuff. Imagine like 150, 200 years ago being in this part of the world. And oh my,
And yeah, your only heat source was like a fire, maybe in one room per
oh yeah,
house.
absolutely. You had a fire, and it was cold and dark for half the year, and you maybe lived in some smoke-filled tiny little cottage if you were lucky enough to have an opportunity to build one. And oh wow, it
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I take that like another step and just imagine the people that lived in St Kilda,
Well,
like a really small island, very hard to grow food.
anything. Yeah,
The
why would
majority
you
of
want to?
their
Why would you want to live there in the first place? I mean, look,
maybe
why would anyone want to be in the north of Scotland? You've got the entire planet. You've got the Mediterranean. You've got all these other countries. People choose this place
because
because it's beautiful. Because when the sun shines, it's magical. It's jewel like. Yeah, you could say.
yeah, like there is a lot of positives to living here. That's for sure.
It's
And
different.
like you know me, I go in the sea quite often,
Oh yeah.
and I think that gives me a resistance to the cold.
Mhm.
So when people are going, oh, this horrible, stormy, cold weather, I'm thinking, I haven't noticed.
Yeah, you're acclimatized in a
Exactly.
certain way
Yeah,
to it.
my body is adapted to handle the cold better
Oh yeah, absolutely.
by going deep into the cold.
Mhm.
I can resist it better.
Yeah, and everyone else is well, not everyone. It's like a lot of the lucky people are getting out of their warm beds and having warm coffee and getting in their warm car and
Mm-hmm.
driving off to their warm office or wherever it is that they work. So they're not getting that contact with nature. They're not acclimatizing to it a lot.
I do notice, yeah, there's a lot of people here that don't like the winter for this very reason. And I find it really sad because it's such a beautiful time of the year. We get a lot of sunny days during the winter time. A lot of dry sunny days too.
I look forward to it. Just sometimes I look out and it looks sometimes I look out and it looks cold, but it's not actually that cold. It's just my mind. My mind is like going like, oh, that looks really cold today, and I get outside and it's not really that cold. So it's a mind game. It's a head game.
You can wrap up warm.
Yeah, yeah. As usual, we didn't get into the stuff for artists today, but we'll get into it again because I think that's a good topic for us to get into, like different ways that people can promote their art. Anyone online can leave a suggestion of a topic or comment or question if anyone is interested. That's it. Made in Moray Live is the chit chat. It's the opportunity to talk, the opportunity to do Q&A, the opportunity to meander and ramble and go anywhere you want to go. The Made in Moray interview series, well, that's where I shut up and I listen to other people's wisdom. So people need to check out the Made in Moray interview series. You'll find that link to the Made in Moray page on Facebook. You can link up to me on all of the major social media platforms. Check out the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching on YouTube. Nate has his two great Facebook pages, Murray Jewel and Nate Portraits, and you can check out his work there. A lot of great landscape photography, some little videos. Plan to do some more videos in the future? So things
I've got
things in the works.
Dozens that I could edit.
Yeah,
that's the
get them right before your computer crashes and you lose all the data. Yeah,
not again.
No. Once is enough, right? More than enough. Thank you very much for the time this morning, Nate. I appreciate you coming in and having a little chit chat and talking about things, and the to and fro has been really enjoyable. I hope that maybe we'll get a chance to do it again soon. Yes,
thank you.
Thank you very
Pleasure.
much, mate. Yeah.
Been
To the
fun.
people online, link to Nate, and this is where we end it. A new interview is dropping soon online. It's the Restore interview. It's great. Check it out.